All right. Final Space Friday update. Here we go, guys. You ready for the update? I'm making good progress on the print file for the midnight edition. Okay, the black and white version. I'm up to part 6, so I'm just waiting on the files for Seth, and then I'm doing 7 and 8. And as I was kind of ordering all these things together, I started to second guess a few things. I did. Really, the placement of the cold opens to the corresponding part, right? So every part has a cold open with Gary saying goodbye to a character, okay? And some of those parts don't really align with what the part is focused in on, right? Or the character or whatever like that. So then I started thinking, well, maybe I shuffle a few things. And these can shuffle, right? They can shuffle. That's the great thing. I have the pages, right? I can shuffle them. The only thing, though, is the page count, right? So if a cold open has 4 pages and one has 5, then it messes up the alignment of the double page. Because the double page, okay, so the double page has to start on the left side and then go to the right. Let me see if I can find an example. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I find an example. This is a good example of this. Let me go to previously on so I don't spoil anything. Last time you guys were stopping my video and finding spoilers. I know what you guys are doing. Okay, this is a good example right here. So obviously, look, this is the double page. It's on the left side, goes to the right. So it always has to start on an even side, right? Yeah, even to go to odd. So let's say, for example, I'm going to delete this. And a double page starts right there, well, then the other side goes right there, and that doesn't align. So if you mess up one page, let me bring that back so that I don't forget that. It ends up the print files is missing one page. So I have to make sure everything's aligned, right? So as I was kind of moving the cold opens around and all that stuff, I started to realize I like that. I like that it's connecting to the, and I don't know why I didn't think of this beforehand. I should have. It kind of, it worked. It did work. I think the issue is that part 2 deals with Ash, and her story. And I realized as I was trying to find a cold open for that part, I didn't really have it. I didn't have something that could work right there because it's happening somewhere else, right? So then I realized, okay, I can't really do that for every chapter, but maybe it's just okay if I don't do it for that one. But then I was like, well, does it need to be part 2? And this is where I started to really spiral, right? I said, no, I can't be thinking this way, not this late in the game. If I move that to the end of the book somehow, because it might actually work better there, right? And I can combine it with something, another part, that could actually be really cool, right? So then I was like, all right, let me talk to Jake. He'll talk me out of this thing, right? He'll talk me out of it. I called up and said, hey, I have this part right now. It's in the beginning. Do you like it there? Or if I move it somewhere else, what if I move it here? And I just hear him on the phone say, oh, interesting. I'm like, no, don't say interesting. You're supposed to be talking me out of this thing. He's like, I actually like this better. This works better like this. I said, oh my gosh, no. I'm going to do this. He's talking me further into this idea. I actually think it's going to work better. Right. And the good news is because I had already built up the first print file, I'm actually already up to that point on the second print file. So I didn't lose any time. Right. But because I did the work, it's just it's just shuffling files. Right. And so far it's working. Nothing is out of a line so far. OK, could be good. The worst comes to worst. I may have to add a page or take out a page. That's it. OK, just so things align. That's what we're talking about. But if that's the case, there's only going to be 7 parts at this point because I'm going to combine 2. And most likely the back 3 parts of the book are going to be juggernauts, okay? Over between 60 to 80 pages in each part, okay? So the first 5 chapters will play pretty breakneck speed movie quality, and then it's going to hit this part 6, part 7. Actually, wait, it would be part 5, part 6, part 7. It ends on 7, which is kind of cool because this year is the 7th year since Final Space premiered. Wow, that weirdly worked out in a beautiful synchronicity. Wow, who knew? Maybe it was meant to be. But I do think it's going to work better. It's looking great, guys. I really, really am digging this black and white version. I'm a sucker for it. I grew up in, like, kind of, you know, watching a lot of black and white movies with my mom, you know, like westerns and stuff. So I just always kind of gravitated towards the black and white. Then in film school, watching Charlie Chaplin and Buster Keaton. Those have just always been, I've just been a sucker for it. So seeing this and seeing how it's bringing a different feeling and a mood, it's really cool. It's just, it's interesting, you know, because you can't really do that in animation. It just doesn't work that well. I tried to do it once, and that was hard to get that on air. But it's looking really, really good, and I think we're just gonna keep pushing forward. That's the game plan. So that's it, guys. That's it. That's all. Have a great Friday. All right, bye. Oh yeah, and you can still. There's like a few copies left of this. I'm telling you right now. Most likely I will not order more of these black and white versions. It's really kind of like to make sure that I'm testing if the colors are going to look good and everything's lined up and all the grammar and all that stuff. So these are limited. That's all I'm going to say. All right, guys. All right, bye.